All right, everybody. So what I'm gonna be going over is scanning for strat setups. So what I do is let me reset this. Um, I'll load up the scan inside day. All right. And then what I usually do to see if something has like a inside day um and an inside week, I'll load up. So I just pick the same scanner twice, right? So I'm scanning a scanner. Yeah. So basically I'm scanning the scanner, right? And this is how I find stuff a lot quicker than most people. Most people don't know you can scan a scanner in Thinkorswim. But what I do is since I picked the same scanner, I'm looking for an inside day, which is a 1 candle, right? Basically, I'll change this one to a week. So now I'm scanning a week candle on the day candle scanners. So basically what it does is it whittles it down. So anything that has a first, I whittled everything down to what has an inside week. All right. Then from there, it's going to whittle it down to what has an inside week that also had an inside day last. Right. So then I click and then I make sure intersect with all optionable. Then I click scan. And then you have what 17 stocks show up. But I'm gonna tell you now, I don't like none of these just because it's not over 1 million in volume. So I'm not even gonna waste my time looking at them. All right. So then the next thing I could do is just go back to and scan my my personal watch list. So I put in strat. That's what I just call it. And then I'll change this one. I'll leave it as a week and just scan for inside weeks. So Facebook, eBay, and OSTK had an inside week. So then I'll go look at the chart. So FB, boom, inside week spread. Let's see what the day was. So day. So that might be a 2 up, 2 down reversal coming in on Facebook. Yeah, I could see that being a possible put play. You had this one was a 2 down, barely by breaking the bottom of that. And then you had your 2 up, which basically it gapped up and then it came down. So if it continues to go down, then you can have an entry at if it breaks below 318.74 possible put to the bottom of this to take this out. So that'd be your 2 up, 2 down reversal. Boom. Then if I go back to the week, kind of got to broaden information a little bit. Boom. All right, let me go down to the hour. The hour already at 2 down. So if it continued, boom. So for instance, let's say that I was looking at this trade for Monday, right? What I would do is, all right, so we know this is the last target, right? So let me pull up this. So this is the target. Boom. So entry here, target there. So if I right click, where is it? Edit properties. Yeah, I'm tripping. Properties, entry. Change this to white. Show name on the right. Residence right. Hold on. Okay. Entry. Change this one to target. Change this to red. Boom. And then if I wanted to see more targets, I could just go down to the hour and find more pivot / targets that I would want the price to take out, which would be another one right here. and then another one right there. And then I can make one more right here. Activate drawing. That right there. And then I'll put this as target. Let's see what 1, 2. So this would be target 3. Let me change that color to edit properties. More. Change this to like a lighter color. Boom. Boom. So target 3. Edit properties. Target 2. I wanted a different color, but obviously I didn't pick a brighter color like I wanted to. Because the reason why I would have picked somewhat of a brighter color is just because I know this last one is the main target. You know what I'm saying? So I could just go in here and make it darker. Make that boy like that. Boom. Dark red. Because I know that's the start, the stop, the final target. I could just change it to target 4, but that's the main one. And so that's how you can find pivots, you know, on a lower time frame. So we know on the major time frame, it's this bottom one that we found right here. All right. Change this to this. So we know it's this one, but we found some smaller price targets to hit. So that's one way to look at that trade. So that's looking at FB. If I wanted to look for broad information, I could just go from here. It went up here, draw it back to a lower, a previous high. So boom, and I could draw from this low back to this one, or I could just draw it back to here because this barely took out the bottom of this. And that's how you kind of like look for broad information is wherever it reversed off the bottom of. So right here, you get your reversal back to the upside. What was the last pivot it took out? It took out right here. So you could draw from this low to the previous low that it took out. And then boom, that's how you draw broad information. This high took out this previous high. Boom, I could draw it like that. Sometimes you get some pretty broad information. Sometimes you get some ugly ones, but nonetheless, that's your broad information, right? So boom. And let's see, let me look at another one. So we go back to scan. Let's look at eBay. eBay. So got a new broad information. See, so like how the broad information restarts, like right here, you could have drew it from here to there, but then it never came all the way back down here. So it didn't come back to the bottom. So if I draw from here back to the high it took out, and then from here back to here, right? Pretty broad information. Right. So boom, bounces around, goes to the top, comes down, stops right here, reverses, go back to the top. But now it looks like it stopped here. So now you have a newer broad information. So I could either draw back to here or the previous pivot it took out, which was right here. So it took out this, took it out 55. So it took it out by a good bit. It almost got this one right here, but it doesn't look like it quite got it. All right. And maybe it did get it by 0.01, but I'd rather have somewhat of an incline to the broad information. So if I click zoom out a little bit, move it over. So boom, now you have a broad information and a broad information, which happens from time to time because, like I said, price doesn't go up and then come all the way down, then take this one out. Sometimes they'll do that. Sometimes they'll bounce around, get bigger and bigger, but sometimes it'll get smaller, bounce up, as you can see right here. Boom, come down, comes up, stops right here, goes back to the upside. And it's probably because it gapped down. So it wants to fill this gap. Right. So that's one thing that can make you more bullish on eBay, but it's almost about filled this gap. It got what? maybe, let me zoom in on this. Oops. So it has 60, 45-ish, 60, 42 to 78. So that's about what, 40, 64 cents to fill that gap or whatever. So anyways, let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, all right. So let's see, what was it? It was an inside week. So inside week. Yeah, this on the week. Yeah, you got a nice reversal right here on the week. I say that because it's 2 down. It went inside. Now it's probably about to go back to the top. I love broad informations. Anyways, so it's about to go back to the top. So your entry can be at this weekly trigger for the week. Boom. So 60.61. Your first target be here. Your second target would be there as far as on the week. Boom. Edit properties. Change this shit to green. Target. And then if you wanted to, if you like, I plotted this target on the week, you can always, in parentheses, put week in parentheses, what I'm saying? Just, so you can keep up with it. Week. Boom. Properties. Entry. Oops. Entry. Change this to white. Boom. And then you can go down to the day. You can find, targets in between those. But for the most part, there really ain't too many at all. It ain't really any at all. It's a gap. So, but yeah, if you somebody could have got that entry on eBay when it did this 2 down, 2, 1, 2 back up to the top. They could have hopped in and then it did another 2, 1, 2. I know it's hard to see because it's not numbered, but that's the beauty of TOS. It's like everything is so crisp. Like, look, the broad information compared to TradingView looks so much better on Thinkorswim. But you had your 2, 1, 2 reversal, then you had a 2, 1, 2 continuation, and then you could say this is probably a 2 or it's a 1 right here. It looks more like a 1, but if it was a 2 up, it's a baby 2 up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna say it's inside of that. Hold on, high low. The high is 58.89. All right, so this is a 2 up by 0.01 cent, and this how you can see up there by where it says eBay 1 year 1 day. On Thinkorswim, if you hover your mouse over the candle, it'll tell you the day, what it was, which you see is 5/6/21. The open was 58.15. The high was 58.89, which is what we care about because we count the wicks. So you just look at the high or the low, you know what I'm saying? So you can see what it was. And so this one, like I said, 58.89. The one right before it was 58.88. So this right here, the one I'm on, is a 2 up by 0.01 cent. All right. So basically you had a 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. Right. So you can run into some exhaustion risk by going 2 up so many times. You might get some selling or whatever. But for the most part, if it crosses above that, you got to the upside. Oh, I'm tripping. Well, yeah, the gap fill is right here, technically. No, that's why gaps really ain't my thing. Technically, the gap is from here to here. Yeah, I'm tripping, bro. It's still, I'm tripping. The gap that it got to fill is up to here, not to here, because it gapped from here down. So it got to fill the gap up to 61.82. And this is why, for the most part, I don't really too much play gaps like that. At least initially, like when it gapped down, you know, sometimes it'll reverse and start coming back up on the same day. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This is how you look up stuff, all right? But like I said, it got a gap to fill. So that's kind of like why it's making its way back up to fill this gap from where it gapped at. All right. So yeah. So bullish on eBay. Like I said, here's your entry. That's your first target, second target, at least what I'm looking at. Always do your own DD, make your own charts. Let's see what the month is. The month is an inside month so far. So, like I've always said, you can trade inside months if the range is wide enough, right? But you don't want to trade inside bars on lower time frames. Why? Because it's tight. And when it's tight, if sometimes inside bars might only be $2. It's a tight range of $2. I'm not trading in a tight range of $2. Some that has a range of maybe $10, $20. Yeah, I trade in an inside range of that wide, because you have plenty of room to trade in for options and stuff like that to make money. And us trading options, we have a little bit more wiggle room with inside bars than, what Rob and them would do, because they trade shares. Because all we need is $1 to move, you know what I'm saying, to capitalize. But you're always looking at risk to reward. You're looking for something that can make, $3, $4, $5 type moves, because you want your risk to reward ratio to be decent, right? You kind of want it to be more than 2-to-1. You want it to be more so like 3-to-1. All right. So that's how I scan for stuff. I just, pull up the scanner, I'll scan, and then I'll go look at it. And then I'll also, scan for outside days and stuff like that. So I'll put that in, scan on the list that I got first. It's 2 tripping EXAS. And then if my list of go-to stocks don't have enough, then I'll pull up, and look at every stock. But I'll make sure I have at least a volume of at least, set to 1 million when I'm scanning for stuff, because, or at least eyeball and be like, if it's not higher than 1 million, or 1.5 million, then I'm not gonna mess with it, because you want something that has a lot of volume, and something that's basically liquid. You want to trade liquid stocks, especially for us who trade options. So usually if it has a volume of at least 1 million, that's good. Sometimes I may even be stingy and say 2 million. All right. So that's your scan video for the strat on how I look for setups and then chart it and stuff like that. All right.